This week is the holiday episode.
Whatever that means.
Welcome to the Grizzled Geek. I'm Mike. Alright, welcome to the Grizzled Geek. Welcome to the Grizzled Geek. I'm Mike.
I'm Kirsten.
I'm Doug.
Alright, welcome to the Grizzled Geek. Welcome to the Grizzled Geek podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Kirsten.
I'm Doug.
And we're here today at the end of the year, end of 2018. It's our holiday episode. We're feeling festive. We've got holiday decor around. And today we are going to discuss, we're going to take a look back at 2018, our favorite movies, TV, other stuff, comics and that. And then a look forward to what we're looking forward to in 2019. If you're listening to us on Stitcher and iTunes and you want to see our lovely faces, you can check us out on YouTube/The Grizzled Geek.
Yep.
And if you're watching us on YouTube and you're tired of looking at our faces, obviously you can listen to us on any place where you get your podcasts. So thank you for listening, watching, whatever you're doing. We really appreciate it. How are we feeling, guys? We all excited about the holidays?
Yes.
Yeah.
We all ready for them? We all done with your shopping?
Yeah, I think
Kind
so.
of.
Kind of.
Yeah, I got a few more things to do. Most of my Christmas is going to Knott's Berry Farm.
Mm.
Oh.
So,
Nice.
we don't really get adult gifts. We do things.
That's cool.
So, but I still need to shop for all the kids.
Listen, yeah, you got a big family.
And it's my mom's birthday, Christmas Day. So we have
Wow.
to get a
Wow.
Christmas present.
That's cool.
Yeah, see, my wife's birthday is the 1st of December, so already got that.
Yeah,
Take
we
care.
have 3 December birthdays.
Yeah, it's like it's a pain. What a rip too. When you're little, you have a birthday in December.
Right.
Isn't that just like oh, here's your birthday/Christmas gift, and
Right.
you're like, oh
Wait a
man.
second.
Okay. So yeah, perfect. I got mine in July, so right, halfway through the year, right? I got my
Right.
Christmas, and I got my birthday halfway through the year, so exciting. All right, guys. Today we're going to discuss, 2018. I know it's had ups and downs. Some happy times, some traumatic times. What sticks out to you the most for 2018? Doesn't have to be like, we'll get into the movies and TVs and all that, but what about 2018 do you remember the most? What stands out the most to you? Could be bad or good. I'll leave it up to you guys. What do you think?
Getting back into miniature wargaming.
Getting back into miniature wargaming, deciding that we had too much money, and decided that
Yeah, that was fun.
what's a way to get rid of all our money? Oh yeah, miniature wargaming. That's a good way to do it. Me and Doug got back into miniature wargaming. We started a second channel, Grizzled War Master. So if you are into gaming and that, be sure to check that out. It's like one big advertisement for our stuff. And buy our T-shirts. Check out our other channel. All right, Chris. What about you? Anything stands out about this year?
My initial thought is Trump, which has a general apathetic feeling towards the entirety of this year. But
Okay.
I honestly thinking about Grizzled Geek. That's probably been the huge highlight of my year so far. It's just really being a part of it and doing Ruby and Weave and everything.
Nice.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Awesome.
Aww.
All the feels. Yeah. No, it's been exciting. We're going into our third year coming up. Is that right?
2.5, something
2.5?
like that, yeah.
Well, we started in December 2 years. I don't know. We've been doing it for a while now.
Yeah.
We started earlier than December.
We wanted to have for me, what stands out to me, I was going to say, and I wanted to have a little special show when we hit 500,000 views on our channel.
Mm-hmm.
But I blinked and we blew past that by 20,000 views.
Wow.
So we never actually had the episode where we're like, oh, we hit 500,000 views. So now it's like, oh, well, do we do it now?
Right.
Just plot on.
Yeah, it's
Shoulder
like,
on.
shoulder on. Wait till we hit 1 million.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we that was for me. That was a big means 500,000 times people have watched stuff we did.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
So that's exciting and a little bit scary when you think about it.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for helping us reach that mark.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my family can't do it all. Playing our stuff over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna take the hot Santa
Long.
pin pad off. All right. So looking back at this year, movies, that was a big highlight. right? Let's go over. I got kind of over talk about our top 5 movies of the year. Doesn't have to be in order. I put mine in order because that's how anal I am. Gotta have mine exactly what's better than what.
Right.
But if you had, let's go with like, if you do have them in order, we'll go with your lowest first and work our way up.
Okay.
All right. So number 5 place, I'm gonna go. I'll say number 5 for me was Ready Player One. Ready Player One for me was a movie that I've been waiting for a while. I love the book. Right. Yeah. It wasn't quite. I mean, obviously, it was a lot different from the book. As far as, I mean, basic plot was the same, but you know, I really wish they would have gone. The characters would have looked more like the book. You know.
Oh right, yeah.
My biggest problem was with not that the cast they had was bad. It's just that you have a certain picture in your mind, and they're well described in the book, right? And especially for like Artemis, right, who's described as, you know, Rubenesque, and you know, she's got a birthmark on her face, and then they got like, you know, typical Hollywood hot actress, and just put a little mark on her face,
right?
You know what I mean? So I was kind of like, well, wait a minute, you know. I mean, that was the point of the characters, that, you know, that's why she, you know, she escapes into the world we're at. But anyway, I don't know. I liked it. Would you guys have that movie?
Yeah, I liked it. I don't have the background of reading the book, so I didn't have any of those issues. It was good. I don't want to say it wasn't good. It was just too packed.
There was just too much going on.
There was just too much.
Yeah.
It was almost like they were. I mean, obviously they were playing off the book's nostalgia elements and stuff like that. But with a book, you can throw a lot more in than you know, this CGI fest. That's like, look at everything on this screen. You really, I mean, it's a good ploy if you want people to buy your DVDs or your Blu-rays so that they can stop it and examine every inch of the movie to try and find all of their cool little hidden Easter eggs.
Right.
But that kind of, I don't want to say it soured me. It was one of those, I was like, this is a miss. This part of the movie. The overall plot of the movie I thought was fun. And I liked, like you said, I liked the people who were in the movie.
Right.
I didn't have any preconceived notions of who they should be or not, so.
Right.
And I didn't go buy the movie when it came out, you know.
Well, I didn't either, but I don't buy movies anymore. Yeah. It's like one of those things. Like I've stopped. It used to be like every superhero movie that came out, I had to have a Blu-ray. You know. Yeah. Or if there was like a Target special edition case for it, I would buy that.
So many streaming services and stuff. There's all these ways to get it. Like I was, you know, collecting all the Marvel movies, but then I'm like, well, next year they're all going to be on a streaming service that I will be
right. Exactly. I'm like,
so why would I do that?
I think the last movie I bought was Deadpool, and I think that was to show my dad because I couldn't. The rental boxes were all out.
Oh, really?
You know, for it. And
no, I bought both Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther this year.
Yeah, I didn't buy Thor Ragnarok. I had the Hulk in it. I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
I haven't bought the last couple of Avengers movies. I just like stop buying media. I don't know what it is.
I kind of really want to go buy Solo just to support that movie because it was a good movie. It wasn't
not to say I don't.
A great movie.
Yeah. But Thor Ragnarok, and that's on Netflix. I have all these movies available to watch.
Yeah, somehow.
I just don't own them.
Yeah.
All right. Excuse me, Kirsten. What about you? What do you?
I've never watched I've never read Ready Player One. So for someone who's never read it, I thought it was an awesome movie. I really enjoyed it. I probably wouldn't put it at my bottom of my top 5. I'd probably put it like number 3. I really liked it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go. See, and being a millennial, well, they also did a lot more to. They had a lot more '90s stuff in it too.
Yeah.
The book is all '80s reference. You know, they put a lot more '90s reference into it.
Kind of spread it around.
Yeah,
spread around the nostalgia.
Yeah, wider audience. Modern stuff, like they had a lot of overlap stuff that kept on repeating over. So that's cool to see.
And theoretically, Ruby.
Oh yeah,
right.
Possibly.
True. That was supposed to.
I didn't see it, but
Crescent Rose was in there somewhere. All right, Doug. What's your?
I don't have an order. I'll be honest. I don't remember what came out this year and what was last year.
I know, I'm thinking here.
We watched so many movies for this.
Yeah. All right, well, why don't we do this then? If you guys, I'll go down to my top 5 list.
Okay.
We'll discuss those and see if they would have been in yours. And then if there's anything I missed or not there that you're like, oh, this movie stood out, then you can throw those in. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, number 4, probably, maybe Kristen saw this, I don't know if Doug hasn't. A Quiet Place for me was number 4. It was actually a horror movie, number 4. Now, usually horror movies don't make my top 5 list, you know, but this was really good. And it wasn't really, I mean, it was kind of a horror movie, but it was,
yeah.
You know, sci-fi, I guess. I don't know. How would you, I mean, have you seen it?
I haven't. I feel like this entire year has been I'll catch it on the fire.
I'll catch it. Yeah, when it comes out, I'll, like, you know.
Yeah.
So I take it, Doug, you haven't seen horror movies.
No. Who was in it?
John Krasinski and Emily Blunt is the one that he wrote and directed.
Okay.
It's where they couldn't talk because the monsters could hear them.
Okay.
It was very suspenseful because it was like, it's one of those movies that I wish I would have caught it in theaters because I understand in theaters where there's no noise, right? And every little noise on the screen, you know, and you can hear everything. Everybody's quiet in the theater, you know, and then the gasp when everything happens.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere would have been amazing. But I didn't. I watched it on, you know, at home. But
yeah, here's one of those.
Really awesome.
That was one of those movies. One, I don't really like that genre movie. And I understand how this would be suspenseful and probably would make a really good book. I had no interest in this as a movie. That just seems like, all right, sound is a really important part of movies.
Yeah.
And making a movie with no sound and no talking, no dialogue, I'm not in.
Yeah, you would think, because it's hard to do. You realize, like, wow, no sound, how is this going to play out with the drama and everything? No dialogue.
Make it really easy for the writer.
Yeah, true, yeah.
No dialogue.
But really hard for the actors. And the little girl in it who's actually deaf in real life, right? So it was like, you know, for her, and just the performances were amazing. Obviously, they had to be because you couldn't, like, you know, no talking, so no dialogue to go out of. Okay. Number 4 for me. Number 3 for me was Black Panther.
Alright.
But yeah, there's 2 movies about Black Panther for me. We've all seen Black Panther. What do you think? Obviously, we've already gone over this movie. We know this is a great movie. Not much to say about Black Panther.
Fantastic movie.
Where would it be? I got it at number 3 for me. What about you? Would it be on your guys' top 5?
It's definitely in the top 5. It's in the top 5 Marvel movies of all time in my book.
Yeah.
And definitely top 5 of this year. Because honestly, I don't know.
Would it be higher or lower than 3 for you?
I don't know. I remember, 3 is probably good.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could make well, obviously you can make a top 5 list if you've seen more than 5 movies.
Right, yeah.
I wouldn't call them top 5 movies necessarily if I
top 5 for me. These are top 5 movies that I've seen.
And I don't know that I've seen 5 movies this year that I'd be all like, yeah, those were great movies that belong.
I haven't seen 5 movies, and they're all
right.
I mean, I don't remember what all we've seen this year. Go ahead and finish your list, and we'll see what.
All right. So number 2, I got Incredibles 2.
Fantastic, yeah.
All right. So yeah, I mean that was amazing. There's an argument to be made whether it's better than the first.
I wouldn't put it above the Black Panther.
You wouldn't put it above Black Panther?
I would not put it above Black Panther.
Oh, I don't know.
It was good.
Yeah.
I liked, and I know most critics I've seen like this one better than the first. I don't. I like the first one better.
I agree.
Don't get me wrong, this was an amazing movie.
Yeah.
And one of the best animated movies I've seen. So that's not a dig on it, but Incredibles is also...
Yeah, no, I agree. The first one was amazing. I think Syndrome, the bad guy in the first movie, puts that movie over.
Yeah, it was...
Yeah.
The only thing, and I think this is what a lot of people, and I don't necessarily buy into this, is Jack puts this up way high on most people elevate this movie. And I'm like, he's funny.
He was a fun aspect.
Yeah. But he was funny in the first movie too. At the his little bit at the end.
I think and I think as the only married with kids person on the panel, I would say that I think for me Jack wasn't what threw it over. For me, like for me the family dynamic, especially with the reversal of the work roles and everything like that.
Why would they change math?
Why would they change math? Yeah, exactly. And dealing with the kids. So I think that. As a parent, it kind of like
See, but I thought the kids were more interesting in the first movie.
Violet was more interesting in the first movie.
She was definitely more interesting. In the
Violet, you're not going to do it in the second movie, absolutely. But, yeah, I don't know. For me, it wasn't necessarily about the kids, about the family as a whole. That whole dynamic.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, for me, I put it number 2.
Okay.
I can see, I can totally, I'm not arguing Black Panther.
Yeah.
You know, I can see where other people would put it higher. And for me, number 1, obviously, was Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah.
Just because that was an amazing juggling act that could so easily have, faltered.
Yeah.
Like juggling that many characters and actually making you care about what's going on and feel, I don't want to say empathy for the bad guy, but yeah, I guess empathy for you can actually understand.
Oh yeah,
the bad
Yeah.
I don't buy his argument, but
Right.
I understand his position, and he does come across at times as being sympathetic.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was.
He's not just like this random evil person, right?
Yeah,
So.
he is far and away the best bad guy that they've ever come up with.
It's a unique.
He puts Loki to shame.
Oh
even,
yeah. Yes.
Which I would have said previously was
the best
bad guy.
Yeah. Well, I will say this movie it's unique in the fact that it could only come about under certain circumstances, right? It had 10 years of build up for this movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? There's no other franchise out there that could last. What?
Take note.
Too
Yeah.
It's too late for them.
Yeah. In your
They
next
tried
reboot.
their group thing.
In your
it
next
didn't
reboot.
work.
Yeah. You couldn't do this. You couldn't throw this movie out, right after, like, oh, everyone has one movie and then throw this movie out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You needed the Avengers. You needed, you needed to build up to this. You needed us to care about the character. Every one of those characters we cared about, and that's why this movie worked.
Yeah.
There were so many characters we cared about them all because we had 10 years with these characters.
Right.
So, you can't even point another franchise out that could pull this off.
Yeah.
This kind of movie off. So, but yeah. So yeah, for me, number 1, Avengers.
I would agree. Yeah, it would be my number 1.
All right.
There was only one flaw in that movie for me.
What's that?
The Scarlet Witch Vision storyline. It just came out of nowhere. You skip from awkward flirting and to not care, one side awkwardly flirting, the other one not getting it, not caring, jump forward a few years to, oh, we're a thing and we're trying to, we're betraying both of our teams in a way, to try and do this.
I don't know. I think
where
they
did
about
that
enough.
come from?
Yeah, I don't know.
As a comic book fan, I knew where that came from.
Right.
As watching the movies progress, you're like, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, it sped it up because obviously it jumped forward a few years, right?
Well, and remember that in the last time we see them before that is in Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to hit on her with no success, with barely any reaction from her.
Right.
And then they fight against each other, and it is all a one-sided relationship at that point. Vision's the only one who has any kind of inkling of feelings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we skip forward to...
Well, you can tell she has some kind of feelings even as far back as Age of Ultron. Yeah, Age of Ultron. It's like when he rescues her at Age of Ultron, there's like that moment there, you're like, okay, you can actually see it just kind of hints at it. Nothing big, right? Nothing major. Yeah. And then, it's just all in her performance and how she looks at him in Civil War, I think. Especially when he's holding her at the end of the battle, like the last time we see him in Civil War, right? And she's kind of looking up at him, and I think it's one of those. Yeah, it was hinted at, not nearly as enough as you could in a comic book because you don't have the time for that if you had a series. I think they'll explore the relationship a little bit more in her series when she gets the series.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That relationship a little bit more, but like I said, in the comics you have years to develop that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that part felt rushed and just kind of like, we need this year for the end, for the payoff at the end scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they fast forwarded that a lot more than seemed reasonable.
Yeah.
For that payoff at the end of the movie. So
fair enough. I didn't notice it as I didn't consider it a drawback or anything like that. So I was like, I didn't really pay much attention to that. I was kind of like, oh,
yeah.
And probably part of that is knowing they're together in the comics, So.
So what else came out this year that we went and reviewed? I'm trying to remember what else.
Well, Solo came out.
Solo, yeah, definitely.
Solo was a good movie, but
I would have put that as my number 4.
I got some honorable mentions here. Honorable mentions here: Mission Impossible Fallout, Deadpool 2.
Oh, Deadpool 2. Never mind. That's number 4. Solo's number 5.
And Solo, yeah.
And I would switch 2 and 3 on your list.
You switch 2 and 3?
Yeah.
Okay. The ones I haven't seen this year, because they're not out yet, is Aquaman and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Those two are both... Oh, and Bumblebee. I don't think Bumblebee's a contender for the top 5.
Yeah.
I don't think Aquaman is either, but Spider-Man maybe.
Yeah.
I think. Aquaman maybe. Maybe. Here's the thing. Even if it's great,
yeah,
I can't see Aquaman, maybe it'd knock out Ready Player One.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. It might be in top 5. I don't know. It could be. But it would have to beat like Deadpool 2, Mission Impossible Fallout, and, Solo. In order to, because those are the honorable mentions here.
Right.
In order to make it on the top 5. So it'd have to be better than all those. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, maybe. Especially since how it's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Everyone's saying it's the best animated movie of all time. I'm so excited to see it. But yeah, I mean those could make a list. Bumblebee, just out of sheer nostalgia, I'm super excited about this. But like I was telling Doug in the last news we did, it might be a little too late, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
It's already, when they're looking at projections, Aquaman is going to beat it, Spider-Man's going to beat it, Mary Poppins is going to beat it.
Yeah.
It's probably going to get lost in the holiday shuffle here, and I think Michael Bay's done enough damage to the franchise that people are going to be like, "Oh, a Transformers movie?
Yeah.
I can skip this." And this is the course correction they needed in the beginning.
Yeah.
Going back to what made the characters popular.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. Right? Is there anything you guys can think of that I missed?
Crimes of Grindelwald.
Crimes of Grindelwald. See,
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm so excited to see it.
It's getting a lot of hate.
Is it?
It is getting a lot of hate.
I heard someone said that it was their favorite.
I wasn't a big fan.
I liked it more than the first one.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You seen it, Doug?
I've seen them both. Yeah, I've seen the first 2.
See, I didn't like the first one. I
liked it okay. I just
okay.
didn't. I don't like the main actor.
No.
Eric Redmayne?
Yeah, I don't like his acting style, and I don't like the choices they went with in the character. I understand the need to make him shy and kind of reclusive and kind of awkward amongst people.
Yep.
He's an animal person. He's not a people person. But his mumbling literally makes it, in the second movie especially, you don't know what he said.
Oh.
You're like,
right.
What? Was that an important plot point? I hope not.
I hope not.
I have no idea what you just said. I've only seen it once in the theater. It was, it was kind of loud. It's opening weekend. But that being said, I liked it better than the first. I wouldn't have put it on my top 5.
Right.
But it was decently.
All right, I'm going to say, unpopular opinion, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. Right? Although, I liked the Harry Potter movies because of the characters.
Yeah.
Right? And especially after so many movies, you know those characters, so you have empathy for them. So that carried me through the series, right? Because I'm not a big fan of the world.
Sure.
And I haven't read the books because I couldn't get through the first one.
If you can get through the first one,
that's right here.
That's
right here. But I'm like, that's a kid's book, and I got halfway through. I can't do this.
Right.
I put it away. If I could read the books, I'd probably be more invested in the world and what everything else.
Sure. Yeah.
But so then I watched when I watched the first one, Fantastic Beasts, I'm like, okay, there's none of the characters I know in this. I don't particularly like the new ones, right? I'm not actually, I'm not super stoked for this. So I'm like, so I was like, okay. Wasn't a big fan of the first one, so I haven't seen this one. Because it doesn't, it wasn't on my radar. I knew it was there coming out, but it wasn't one of those things like, I got to go see. So
yeah, I was Harry Potter's okay kind of. I've read the books, watched the movies, and then I listened to the books on CD again, and I was like, on the library, MP3 player, and I was like, all right, I'm getting more, a little more into it. Watching like other YouTubers who talk about the stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm a little more into the world now, so it's interesting in that aspect to see them build the backstory of the world.
Right.
So, like you said, the characters, some of them are cool, some of them you're like, whatever I can do with or without you, I don't care.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And one thing you do learn reading the books more than watching the movies. I think reading the books and then listening to the books is it should be called Hermione Granger and the
Hermione Granger
and how she saved their butt.
Yeah, how Hermione saved
and the two bumbling guys that follow her around.
Yes.
All right, fair enough. And none of you guys have seen Mission Impossible Fallout?
No.
Okay, that is really good. It's probably one of the best in the Mission Impossible franchise, which
I've only seen 2 movies of.
Yeah. Well, it went down. I mean, the first one was good, then it kind of started going downhill, right?
Yeah.
And then it came back up. The last 2 were amazing, and then this one was really good.
Yeah.
So, you're into those action, like James Bond, Born Identity, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Probably.
I love the Bourne movies, so I need to get into it. I'm one of those people who don't like to jump in at the end or middle or something. Okay, if I'm going to do this, I have to watch them all.
Yeah.
And I just can't find the time to do that, right?
Yeah. There you go. All right, so those are the movies. I'm sure there's some we missed. There's a bunch I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I know there's a ton of movies I want to see.
Right.
Like,
we're going to have to split this into 2 episodes.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Because we've just finished movies and we're like 25 minutes in.
Nice.
And that's what we've seen this year, not what we're looking forward to.
That's true. I want to go pretty quick. Going into TV, I'll jump in with TV, my top 5 here. We'll do the same thing here. Okay. Probably, and TV is a little more different because we have probably broader tastes when it comes to movies. And TV, we have more options to see these things. So you probably see a bunch of TV series I haven't seen. Probably watch different things. So these will be a little bit different. We'll see which ones match. Number 5 for me is I can thank James for. It's just recent. It's End of the Effing World. It's a series on Netflix about basically a sociopath, some guy who doesn't, a kid who doesn't. It's like a love story between this kid who doesn't feel for anything and this girl who feels way too much, right? Very more emotional, right? So it's like it's weird. It's dark. It's funny at times. It's dark at times, but it's like it was one of those things. James was watching it, and I was like, "What is this?" Like he's listening to the background.
What other crazy crap are you into, James?
Yeah, exactly. So believe it or not, I get into a lot of this. James, said, "Hey, you need to watch this or check this out." So he knows about all this crap. But that was number 5 for me. Number 4 for me, Cobra Kai. I actually got a chance to check this out during the free trial, for the YouTube Red. Oh my goodness, I had no idea. I'm like, okay, Karate Kid series. Okay, well, I loved Karate Kid when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
The sequels were but the first one was an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I did not expect Cobra Kai the way they kind of swap things around in there, and it's just where main guy's kind of like a quasi-celebrity, minor celebrity in a town, and then the other guy kind of peaked it in high school and hadn't really done anything, right? And they kind of I can't want to spoil anything, but it's got some twists and turns, and it's like, wow, I did not expect Cobra Kai to be as good as it was. For me, number 3, Better Call Saul, season 3. This is the season. Better Call Saul is kind of a weird one for me because obviously Breaking Bad is one of the greatest TV series ever, and Better Call Saul was kind of like the funny knockoff. They take the funny character out of that, the humor character, and then try to do a serious series with him. And you're like, okay, how's that going to work? And it works. Every season has been really good, but I think this last season was the first time Saul actually Jimmy became Saul Goodman, basically, right? This one is more dark. It was still humorous, right? But this season was a lot more serious. And even though it's a prequel to Breaking Bad, so a lot of things have to happen, right? It's still suspenseful, and it was really good. This was probably the best season they've done so far. Number 2 for me, F is for Family, season 3. Just came out on Netflix. It's an animated one. This is Bill Burr's animated one. But it's Bill Burr's hilarious, and this show is hilarious. It's an adult cartoon, very funny. I like it better than Big Mouth. I know everyone's like, Big Mouth is the Netflix animated. Yeah. Much prefer F is for Family for me personally. And number 1 TV series for me, and granted I didn't watch a whole lot of TV series, so these are kind of some of just what I've been watching. Daredevil season 3 for me was the number 1 this year. It was the number 1 thing I was looking forward to this year, and it did not disappoint.
Nice.
It was
not seen it.
amazing.
Still.
So you haven't seen...
No, I'm still struggling through Iron Fist Season 2.
Iron Fist was the best, man.
Yeah, I've got 1 or 2 episodes left. I don't remember. The last... Oh, well, I don't want to spoil it if people haven't watched.
Oh, well.
Who knows if I'll ever watch it.
True. I got a couple honorable mentions. Altered Carbon on Netflix, which was an amazing series, but it wasn't quite like, you know...
It was good, but it wasn't like blow yourself out of the water.
Right, yeah, exactly. It was better than I expected. Kind of like when Stranger Things got really high, and then you hear like, was it OA or whatever? Oh,
that was good. Yeah.
I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it, and I couldn't stand it because everyone said it's the next Stranger Things.
Oh,
If you like Stranger Things, you'll like this. So I go into it, total different mindset that I needed for that show, right? And then when I got down to the acrobatic, or the interpretive dance at the end, they won by interpretive dance, I guess. Kinda. I don't understand. That is all you need to say about this series.
Yeah.
They won by interpretive dance. If that doesn't do it for you, don't watch it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really watch TV.
You go to Netflix? You don't Netflix?
We watch a little bit of Netflix. Like, Melissa and I all watch Disenchanted.
Okay, that's good.
Pretty funny animated show. We've just picked up Bob's Burgers again. But again, we're not on the current stuff.
Right.
We're catching up.
Yeah, I feel like this year has been a lot of catching up. Like, there's been a couple shows that, like, I have to see it as soon as it comes out. But
like, I watched earlier this year, I watched the second to last season of Rebels. So I'm behind on that. That was really good. I'm only about a third of the way through the last season, which I think finished this year. I'm thinking. So I'm kind of watching something that's this year. I watched the Netflix Marvel shows. And then anything else is just kind of like the occasional stand-up.
And just for the record, I took Ruby off the list because
I know.
Clearly Ruby is...
It's not a TV show.
Right, but it's a
show.
It's a web show, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, as much as
it's not a movie, so it's falling into TV.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
That's something totally
Of course, that's something totally different. So we kind of didn't put that in with this list here.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I can't think... There's one of the things,
Did you guys watch The Good Place?
The Good Place?
Not the second season.
So
Watch the first season.
Second season's good too.
Is it? It's an interesting twist at the end of season 1. It's kind of funny.
I don't know. I watched. I mean, there's so many things that I'm like, I want to watch, but I don't have time for it. So I've got a lot of stuff like tagged on Netflix to watch, but I've not got around to it yet. I mean, stuff like Daredevil, I binged in 3 days because it was something I was, I went without sleep for that one.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, it just came out. I'll just watch a couple episodes before bed. And then it's like, is that the sun? Oh, one more episode.
That's funny. Yeah, otherwise, I can't think of anything I've really watched on TV.
You know what I've turned into? I've turned into a damn YouTube watcher.
Same.
Now that I'm done YouTube, now that I'm on YouTube, that's what I find myself doing instead of actually going to Netflix or going, and just check out, let's check out YouTube video. And then
by the end of the night, you're like, where is my time?
Where's my time in? What has happened? And you fall down, especially if you fall down like a rabbit hole, like clicking videos, you're like, oh,
Who are your favorite YouTubers of the year?
My favorite YouTubers? Oh, wow. I mean, I watch Phil DeFranco every day. I guess that's kind of like, if I had to pick a number one, it'd be Phil DeFranco because I watch him every day.
Jenna Marbles. I watch her.
Jenna Marbles, I love Jenna Marbles. She's great. I don't watch her. I don't watch her like everything she comes out, but every once in a while, if I come across the Jenna Marbles thing in my feed, I watch it. Right? It's not a question about whether or not I don't click on it. I watch it. I just don't. I haven't rung the bell yet. Make sure I check it out.
For sure.
I've been watching a lot of. I watch all the painting and gaming videos.
Yeah. Mini More Gaming.
Telltale Noob. I've been watching all his stuff. These are more, Age of Sigmar stuff.
Yeah, he's at our local game store.
Yeah, he's at our local game store, so we watch his stuff. I mean, I've been listening to, ever since they joined us for our podcast, we were on theirs, Couch Crunchers. I've been checking out their stuff, their podcasts and that.
They're cool guys.
Those are great guys, check out their podcast. I'm kind of looking forward to, what I think I'm looking forward to, I'm going to skip ahead here, is, kind of teaming up with some of the other guys in the Arizona AZ podcast.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, because that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, So YouTube. I don't know. What do you watch, Doug? I mean,
watch what culture wrestling pretty much every day. Mm-hmm. Then Generation Tech. Gotten into that. I showed you guys him. Yeah. They're a hilarious Star Wars channel. If you like Star Wars stuff, Star Wars lore, top 10 list, that kind of stuff, those guys are hilarious. And Eckhart's Ladder, he does a lot of cool, like, Star Wars, Halo, video game lore type stuff. So he's pretty interesting. Thor Skywalker.
Okay, yeah, Thor Skywalker.
I like Thor Skywalker a lot because I agree with most of his opinions on the state of the Star Wars franchise. So it's fun to listen to somebody mirror my thoughts.
Yeah, I just caught his, what was it? His April Fool's video from this year. Oh. Where it was like defending the green milk drinking scene from...
Oh.
Why it's the greatest scene in all of Star Wars. And he makes like a full breakdown of what the underlying meaning behind it and everything. So yeah,
that's pretty hilarious. Yeah.
I would say this. I watch when I want to watch. Me and James watch creepy videos. So we watch creepy videos. Oh, yeah. So we watched Nightmind and Nick Spheres and Slapped Ham. Slapped Ham was kind of a funny one, but it's still they show dark, crazy videos. All the stupid, why the strangest things captured on drone video or whatever, or mysteries or haunted places, and we just creep ourselves out at night watching these things and trying to walk down the hallway in the dark. How about you, Kirsten?
Man, we got to record that stuff for bonus material.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, we James scared ourselves.
Yeah. That would be pretty hilarious.
Oh my God.
I watch a lot of the popular stuff. Like Shane Dawson has been doing his documentaries. Mm-hmm. Those have been fantastic.
Watch the Logan Paul one?
Yeah.
Right. And was it any good?
It was pretty good, honestly.
I can't bring myself to watch it, but I want to. It's like one of those things. Like, I know I want to watch it, but I'm like,
you should watch it. It's good. At the very least, it shows a different side of Logan Paul that you can maybe understand why he is the way he is.
No, for sure, I want that.
Well, no, I mean, empathize or not, however you feel about it, but I mean, it lets you at least kind of see the chaos that is his life, which is interesting to me. Try Guys, I love the Try Guys.
Oh, Try Guys are great, yeah.
Those guys who drop stuff off them?
No, Try Guys are like, they do crazy things together.
Yeah.
I think the latest one, they tried being under the influence of different things and trying to drive in like a course. So they got high, they got drunk, they got they sleep deprived and texting while driving. So it's interesting. And then I follow a bunch of smaller things like Taylor D. Nicole. She's like an animal. She's got so many animals, and I love seeing all the crazy animals she has and she buys and takes care of. So I don't know. I watch a lot of crazy things.
Either one of you guys watch any of the conspiracy videos?
No.
I mean, does Shane Dawson?
Every once in a while, I'll go down like not that in conspiracy theories.
Closet flat.
I'm like, but every once in a while, I'll go down a rabbit hole just of conspiracy theorists. Videos.
I love them, but I feel like I get lost in them, and then I get creeped out about the world that I live in. It's like, you make so many valid points.
You're like, what?
How do I reconcile that?
You feel your IQ lowering when you watch these guys.
That's what the one time I feel that way, Doug, is every once in a while, as a guilty pleasure, I'll watch some flat earther videos.
Oh my God.
Just to see if I can find a dumber one than the last one. Right? My absolute favorite one is the guy, I don't know if you've seen this guy, has a globe and a little toy airplane, right? And it shows you because he has an absolute proof for flat Earth. And then it's like 10 minutes of him describing, all his credentials and why he's,
oh my God.
And it's all about flying upside down.
And then it's like flying upside down, and takes the plane, like, look, see, you start off in the North Pole, and then by the time you fly all the way down, you're upside down. And we've seen people on the South Pole, they're not upside down. And I'm like, oh my God! Did I just say that? I don't like get a check. Is this real, or is this like a April Fool's video? Or I love it, and that is Oh man, it is great just watching those stupid videos.
Oh, I can't do that.
All right, well, some more YouTube than TV. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. Not a bad. Wasn't a bad year for that. Now, I want to point out another thing for the year. Looking back on it, for me, I know Doug, you and I don't read comics as much as we used to in the past.
No,
so
unfortunately.
I can't do a list of the best comics of the year because I haven't read a whole bunch of them. But what I have read that I really liked was Immortal Hulk Volume 1, or Is He Both is the name of it, right? And this is the reason why I picked this up is because last year, when we were doing the news, they were saying they're coming out with a new, rebooting the Hulk, and it was going to be a horror series, right? I'm like, how are they going to do this as a horror comic?
Yeah.
Right? Because they're going back to his roots. Because the Hulk, first 3 comics of the Hulk were horror.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the third comic, he's like fighting commies, and he's basically like, okay, well, he's a hero at this point. He's a superhero, but he was designed originally as a horror comic. Okay. And so this, I don't know, it's written by Al Ewing and drawn by Joe Bennett, who's got really good art. And it's just, I had to see it. It was like, and I'm only halfway through the first volume, right? Because I only, it's not like I run out. I collect comics as they come in.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But it's really good. It's one of those things where the concept of it is that the Hulk's immortal.
Yeah. So
we know, like, Bruce Banner died in the end of Civil War II or whatever, and then he was supposed to be brought back by a couple times by different things. So the concept of this is that no matter what, he can't die. So if someone kills him as Banner and he's dead as Banner, he'll come back as a Hulk the next night. Oh. Right? He just can't die. He just regenerates, comes back. Mm-hmm. He wakes up the Hulk the next night if he dies. Mm-hmm. So he dies in the first run of this book. Yeah. He dies, and then it's the Hulk, and then it's the Hulk as kind of the monster. He's and not as an evil monster or something like that, but he's a monster. And, mm-hmm. Things happen around him, and the way. For me, the art, there's art where the Hulk, fills the panels. There's, double page spread panel where he, fills up the whole thing, right? And it's you get a feeling of how huge he is, and just, I don't know, the art is really amazing, the stories are really amazing, and they're, short little, art story arcs, right? And they're going to the next one. And it reminds me a lot of, the old TV series where, he's hitchhiking, and then every episode he's, he's a new place and new storyline, so like that. It's It reminds me of that, only darker. Mm. So, Immortal Hulk, Volume 1, highly recommend it. I don't know if it's the best this year because pretty much it's one of the only ones I've read this year. But yeah, but I picked a good one. So, what about you? Anything else? Anything this past year that you want to whether it's comics or anything that's that stuck out to you? This you're excited about? Any book you read?
Nope.
Any game you played?
I don't feel like I've played anything that's new.
You just got a Switch this year.
That's right.
What have you been
playing?
Yeah.
I've been playing Splatoon.
Splatoon, yeah. To be honest, it's the reason you got a Switch.
I mean, it is, honestly.
Some people, it's Breath of the Wild. For you, it was
everyone was excited about Zelda, and I bought Zelda, but I haven't even touched it because I'm too busy playing Splatoon.
That's funny.
Not that there's anything wrong with Zelda. I love me some Zelda, but I mean, what's better than just shooting ink at people, being a tentacle kid?
I love Splatoon too. It's great. What about you, Doug? Anything major?
From this year, nothing.
This year's been really boring.
I mean, this year was a lot more of just, I can't remember what came out this year versus last year. I'm oh, that Thrawn novel was cool, but it was the first one. I haven't read the second one yet. So I think the first one came out last year and the second one this year.
Right.
So I can't talk into that one yet. I've been playing a lot of Sentinels of the Multiverse because that comes out
this year.
Well, it's come out with expansions as we go. Well, I've been playing the online game.
We bought
and we've played the new, the final expansion, the Oblivion.
We got a giant Oblivion box. I mean,
and by giant we mean
it is giant box.
Yeah,
I think it's probably 12 inches tall and wide and about 24 inches.
It's bigger than any game box we own for any game.
Yeah, it is the biggest.
I mean, it's bigger than the other two biggest game boxes we have put together, I think. So it's huge. It's a great game. All right, what about is there any disappointments this year? I think I will go, without getting into a rant here, I'm going to talk about Fallout 76, which before I say, everyone's bashing on this game, I'm enjoying this game. Mm-hmm. right? I think I did a video on it earlier in the year about my worries about it. And especially after the last 2 patches, right? They fixed a lot of the... I will say this. It was glitchy as hell. When it came out, there was tons of glitches in it, right? Which was unacceptable for a $60 game coming out in that manner.
Agreed.
But all the criticism about it being boring, I don't get.
Yeah.
I don't understand that because it's fun. You know, especially now that, I mean, they've fixed most of the glitches and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy playing it, and if you enjoyed Fallout, if you enjoyed Fallout 4, I don't see why you wouldn't like this game. I mean, all the lack of NPCs is not a big deal. You know, they have robots there and other ways to get area things. It's like a big mystery. Yeah. Everyone's dead in the area, so you got to figure out what happened to everybody, right?
Right.
So that is the fact that it's a big mystery you're trying to solve, and you go this big giant world, and it's fun. And when you run into other people, other players, they've been very generous. Like every time I run into another player character, it's always like, "Hey, you want to trade? You got anything? You need to do this? What are you looking for?" You know, it's been very...
That's cool, yeah.
It's been very cool. It does have a weird thing, like everyone's complaining about the push-to-talk, but I kind of like the environmental talking. Basically what it is your microphone basically clicks on when you're within earshot of another player.
Oh, okay.
So when you get closer to another player, all of a sudden your microphone kicks on and they can hear you. And you can hear them.
That's kind of cool.
So it's just like, so it's more immersive. So I like get in the room, shut the lights off, and get into it, right? And so every little noise you hear, you're like, oh, what's going on? But yeah, for me, I will say that I've seen there's a lot of people bashing that, so I don't want to put that out there. It's like it's not. I will not say it's like the greatest Fallout game ever. Obviously, I like 4 a lot better. I like the single player storyline games a lot better than this open world one. But it was what I expected from it. It was good. I like it. So
cool.
Are any guys any surprises or disappointments or anything this year?
Yes,
anything?
I have a lot of disappointments.
Ridiculous.
Okay. I was really excited because Sabrina the Teenage Witch is supposed to come out, right?
Yep.
And I love that show. And I realized, I was excited because it was going to be like a horror sort of aspect.
Yeah.
That was so disappointing.
Was it not good? I remember you were getting excited for it, then you hadn't mentioned it before.
I know, because it wasn't good. I binged it because I wanted it to be good. You're fine. I loved that it was going to be a horror thing. I wanted to be scared. And it was interesting, but it was like, I don't know. The end of it just left me like, I mean, I guess I'll watch the 2nd season, but I'm not excited about it.
Did you watch the Archie or Riverdale?
Yeah.
I
haven't finished Riverdale. It's kind of first season was spectacular. 2nd season started getting really good, and now it's kind of fallen off. I haven't finished it. And then, I mean, it's different. It's a show, but anime that I watched this year, Darling in the Franxx. It was so good up until the last episode. And it was so good. And then all of a sudden they have like a giant space woman with like boobs pointing out and like she's a unicorn but also like a spaceship. And I don't.
Was that out of nowhere?
They were like...
Nothing led you up to the giant space boobs?
It was like a really cool mech, anime. And the idea was that, you can only pilot these mechs because they were made of alien tech in pairs of, female and male. And so, it's trying to figure out, why they react to the way that they react and, fighting these alien species that you know nothing about other than what you're, learning through the episodes. And it's post-apocalyptic, so you're what happened? What kind of alien invasion is this? And why are these suits the way that they are? Are they built to protect society, which is on this moving ship across or no, maybe they're not moving, but I don't know. It was a really cool concept, and then all of a sudden it was aliens,
aliens
in space, giant woman that's also a unicorn, that's also a spaceship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's exactly what I thought. Okay. I guess that's how that's going to be.
Did you run out of ideas?
Yeah.
That sounds
Someone
pretty
sat
disappointing.
down and they were like, "What's the most ridiculous thing we can do?" Let me tell you.
Yeah.
It was not good.
That sounds worse than I would think giant space boobs would be.
You know what? I appreciate me some giant space boobs.
Exactly. You figured that would be a good thing, but all of a sudden...
It was just...
The way you described it, I was like, no, I mean... I'm not even interested.
Disappointing.
Oh, wow.
Anywho.
What about you, Doug?
No, there was nothing super... Well, I guess my biggest disappointment of the year was how bad Solo did. For not a bad movie.
Yeah. It's not a bad movie.
I mean, it suffered from the boycott.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's the thing. Do you think Solo was better than The Last Jedi?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a ton better.
We're on the same page here. Okay. And do we think the fallout from Solo is because of The Last Jedi?
Yes.
Okay.
People who say that, and I think we kind of alluded to this, well, hell, Star Wars, coming so close together, they were only 5 or 6 months apart, where people are used to Star Wars being further apart. But Marvel proves that you can throw out a movie every 3 months and and make a good movie and people will love it and still go be excited for the next. So that isn't a valid argument necessarily. Now, Star Wars is different and it's always felt special because you had to wait a while for the next movie. So there is that. So I think a lot, So I think, a lot of people soured on Star Wars because of The Last Jedi, and they used Solo as a vehicle to, make a statement about it. Plus, it had all of those problems with production that also probably made people go, oh, this could be a mess. Right. I'm going to skip.
Right. And it was a movie that no one asked for. Like, we didn't need a Solo movie.
Yeah.
Right? It was good.
Yeah.
But we didn't really need it, And here, I don't know. You think, we touched on this the other day when we were talking about the new Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures cartoon. Do you think a re-release of the originals would re-spark interest in the franchise? Because since the originals, that's what got us all into it. Those originals sparked the entire Star Wars universe fandom, right? Because they were so good. Prequels kind of brought us down. We started coming back up, and a lot of the criticism of the new ones.
Well, that's our generation. Younger generations there's a lot of people who love the prequels. That's their Star Wars, and
isn't that just sad?
Now, here's the thing: is we're looking back at Star Wars with nostalgic eyes.
No, I won't take any argument that it hasn't aged well. Star Wars
Star Wars is fine, but it isn't well acted. Yeah. It's not necessarily it's fairly well paced. It's got some stilted dialogue, some of which is pretty much straight ripped off of other movies.
Yeah. Well, the whole concept of Star Wars, the first movie, is basically Kurosawa's Fortress movie.
Well, plus I forgot the name of the movie.
It's like a mix of the two.
There was a World War II movie where these British pilots are going to take out a dam. And the trench run scene is straight up from that, including, modified dialogue. You're almost, if it had been a longer portion of the movie, you could have been sued for it.
Right.
But nonetheless, the point is that there were bad parts of that. They were just different bad parts. So we came into I'm not going to argue that there were not horrible elements of the prequels, but it was a decent story. Okay. There are some things.
Phantom Menace needs to be cut out whole. There's the only thing good about Phantom Menace is the battle at the end, and the battle at the end didn't have the emotional heft of any others. You pick any other lightsaber fight, right? Because we didn't care about, I didn't care about Obi-Wan, right? But I mean, he's the only one who really knew, and there wasn't that build-up. It was like all of a sudden, Sith fight, right? All of a sudden there's a Sith that's fighting. So it didn't, but it was an amazing choreographed fight. It was probably one of the best choreographed lightsaber fights in the entire franchise, but it was it had the least emotional heft out of any of them.
That's probably true.
And the rest of that movie is just garbage. And everything, midichlorians, it's got the most Jar Jar. It's just like, I mean, because if you go on, there's still the dialogue in the second movie. I mean, and Hayden Christensen got the shit into the stick with the dialogue he got stuck with. Yeah. But it leads up to the Clone Wars. And maybe the Clone Wars cartoon makes me think look back on that movie better.
Yeah.
Right? Because it does improve that movie and the next one.
Yeah.
Right? So, but the next two movies are okay. And then by the time you get to the last movie,
Revenge of
the Sith, that's actually a decent movie. So,
I'd probably disagree, though. I don't think that if they redid them, they would do much. It would renew any
interest?
enjoyment.
You don't think so?
I feel like with the newer people, like, we've seen a lot of not goodness come out of Star Wars. So I don't feel like, at least I don't feel like I have faith in any of the directors to bring that back to life.
We're not talking about remaking the movies
like
as
re-releasing
movies.
them.
Oh, I know. I thought you were talking about, just re-releasing them in theaters. They've done that periodically.
Yeah.
Sure, I guess.
But, like, remaking them?
Not remaking.
I was
wouldn't
thinking...
remake
People would be, like, old people would be pissed off.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And the new people have no faith in them to do anything good out of it. So
I can see you doing I like the idea they're doing is in cartoon form, giving you the broad strokes of the story. I think that's a good way to introduce kids to it.
Yeah.
I wish I had more time and energy and money to invest in the comics, because the comics for Star Wars are apparently doing are really good, really well written. Especially the Vader comic. But, and I have not read any of the sequel stuff that, like there's a Poe Dameron comic and stuff like that. So I haven't really read any of that stuff. But
wow. Well, what this podcast is proven is that, man, we don't watch any TV or go see movies or play any games. We got a few, but
it's been a real there hasn't been a lot in this year that I've been like, wow, that was the highlight and the best movie I've seen in my entire life, and I remember every bit of it. Like, a lot of it's been like,
there's some great ones, and then the rest is kind of like, not as memorable, I guess.
Yeah, faded into the background.
Just kind of faded in the background. Whether it's, the good ones shining so bright, or the other ones being too dim. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe a combo. But, well, what we're going to do is we're going to split this off. Instead of doing, like, the look back on the year and to look forward, we're going to say to look forward to the next podcast. Because we've spent a whole bunch of time going on about all the stuff we did this year. But, all in all, I mean, I'm pretty excited. I'm excited about next year. Looking back, I'm not as disappointed this year. There's been some really great things. Yeah. Right? Like, look at all the movie lists I had. I really enjoyed all those movies. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man and Aquaman and Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Looking forward to those. We'll see what's going on with these.
Yeah, by that point, we might be able to slip some of those into the...
what are you talking about
the next... Looking forward to.
Yeah, the next podcast.
And by the way, we saw these movies and they were awesome.
Yeah, exactly. All right, anything else? Maybe Doug can think of something he's more excited about next year than Disneyland opening a Star Wars.
Don't give away my...
That's all he talks about.
Galaxy's Edge.
I mean, to be fair, it is.
It is pretty exciting, yeah.
I am probably looking forward to that more than Episode 9.
I say that's pretty
partly because I'm worried about Episode 9.
Oh, yeah, it's true. That's true. Well, that's a whole other episode.
And I've got total faith in Disney parks. They've done some amazing stuff lately, and so I'm super excited about the world.
See, there you go. A little preview of next episode.
Talk a little more about it.
We'll go into detail. Doug will go into detail for the new...
I'll have the layout for you. Walk you through it.
So, how to the best wait in line.
Yeah.
A little bit. So. All right.
A little early for that.
Yeah, true. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to us on the podcast. Again, if you are listening to us on Stitcher or iTunes, you can check out our lovely faces on YouTube/The Grizzled Geek. You can buy our goods at Teespring/The Grizzled Goods. What else, Doug?
Well, we've got an Amazon affiliate link. If you want to do some Christmas shopping, click that link. Any shopping you do within 24 hours, we'll get a small kickback. You won't pay anything extra, so you'll be helping us out that way. Mm-hmm. And you can check out our Patreon linked below.
Yes, you get access to all this stuff and support the making of videos like this. Thank you, guys, and we'll be back next time with what we're looking forward to in the upcoming 2019. So, bye, guys. We'll see you next time.